Carlos Nelson with Cascade Media, and tonight we're on our political channel, and we're so lucky to have one of our city council members on, Mr. Darrell Curls. He represents the 5th District at large and have been knowing the Curls in general. Used to work with one of his relatives, Mr. Phil Curls, who was a senator, and now Darrell holds the seat for the 5th District at large. Welcome to the show, Darrell.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Carlos, and I appreciate you giving me an opportunity to speak with you today.
Hey, Darrell, we talked last week, a week before last, on you coming on, and as I said, I'd like for you to just enlighten our community on some of the things that are going on in the 5th District and some of the things that you feel that you have been elected to do where you're at. Just give them the 411 on what's happening in the 5th District and because you are at large council person, what's going on at large?
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess when you talk about the 5th District, a lot of people may not be aware of where the boundaries of the 5th District are. So let me give you kind of rough outline of the district. The district northern boundary is roughly on 52nd Street, and it goes south to Grandview city limits. On the western side, it goes down Troops, everything east of Troops to Bannister Road, and then it goes over east to Grandview Road and goes out to Grandview city limits. On the eastern boundaries, it goes around Lee Summit and wraps around Raytown, as well as it picks up a little bit over off of Nolan Road and 40 Highway. So the 5th District is the largest landmass of all councilmatic districts right now. Under the new boundaries, the 5th District has the most minority population in it. It used to be the 3rd District, but a lot of people have moved further south, which, like I said, has caused us to have the largest minority population between the 3rd and the 5th.
Excuse me for cutting you off. Can you put any numbers to that? And I'm catching you off guard, but
yeah. Right here that says currently the African American population in the 3rd District is 44,690. In the 5th District is 49,055.
All right, all right. Hey, Councilman, I see you got your facts right there handy, baby boy. I like that. That's what this is about. Not he say, she say. It's about, hey, here it is in black and white. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I get hit with that question all the time because, ever since I got elected, I've been trying to focus on having more attention focused on the 5th District. And that's because the 5th District does not have a lot of amenities that the other districts have, such as we don't have a sit-down restaurant. I mean, if you exclude Niecy's out of it, there is no sit-down restaurant in the 5th District. We do not have no retail space where you can go and shop and buy any type of clothing or any other type of apparel. We do not have a coffee shop where people ask me all the time, says, Councilman, I'd like to come and talk to you about a project. I'll come to your district for a cup of coffee. Outside of inviting them to my house or going to McDonald's, I don't have a coffee shop. And there's other things. We don't have any entertainment facilities. If you recall, Carlos, Bannister Mall used to be the hub of a lot of activity in South Kansas City.
Boy, 85%.
Yeah, Bannister Mall is no longer there. Once Bannister Mall left, a whole lot of other amenities left as well. So my attention has been to refocus attention to try to get developers to look at how we can put more amenities in the 5th District because they're needed. As I mentioned before, the African American population has increased in the 5th District. So when we talk about minority and African American population, a lot of times people focus on the 3rd District. And I love the 3rd District. I have no problem with the 3rd District. But we also have to realize that a lot of our people have now moved to the 5th District.
Can I touch on this? I want to cut you off while it's on my mind. So, speaking of the 3rd District, I have Councilwoman Robinson comes on, and a lot of conversation is development, and what you were touching on about looking for more development out in your area. What monies are available now for developers and for business entrepreneurs out in the 5th District that the city, some of the programs that the city is involved with on trying to accomplish those goals?
Well, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on the type of development you're talking about. If you're looking at housing, I mean, we have the Housing Trust Fund, you have CDBG monies that would be available. You have other incentives that could be utilized for housing. When you talk about, say, like businesses or other type of developments, then there's the TIFs. You've got CIDs. You've got.
Do you know whether there's any coordinated effort to a strategy to lure a Black restaurateur out there, to lure you named 2 or 3 other types of businesses to come out to the 5th District?
To be honest with you, there is no strategy right now. I'm trying to work on a strategy. I've been meeting and talking to whoever would meet and talk to me about any type of development in South Kansas City. So whether that's a housing development, whether that's a commercial development, whether it's mixed retail, mixed use. So I'm meeting and talking to anybody. To your point, we need to develop a strategy in order to encourage Black-owned businesses as well as any other businesses to come out there. I've been talking to my colleagues on the council in regards to how we can come up with some of these ingenious ways that they come up with in order to spur development north of the river. I want to do something similar to that south of the river as well.
I like that. Hey, let's keep it moving. So, when we talked about you coming on the show, you were passionate about this tow truck, predatory towing, and give our audience a bird's eye view of what's going on as it relates to that.
Okay, sure. Well, the city council passed the ordinance, I'm going to say probably at least 2 weeks ago now in regards to predatory towing. And what happened is I had a lot of my constituents complain to me about their vehicles being towed, and they didn't know what to do in regards to how to get their vehicles back, where it was towed to, and it just seemed like the towing companies were just taking advantage of the disenfranchised. And what I decided to do was come up with a fair transparency process for towing companies so that the working people of this city would not be burdened with these unnecessary fees, all type of other charges that they've been experiencing when it comes to having their vehicles towed. On top of that, it really creates an inconvenience for people because now you got to take off from work, you lose wages, you got to try to find where your car is, which means you got to research some stuff. And so what this ordinance does is it creates a Bill of Rights for people so that when their cars are towed, the towing company will present them with this Bill of Rights, and that will give the owner of the vehicle an opportunity to either accept or decline the towing company's ability to tow their vehicle. It also includes where they're going to be towing their vehicle to, how much it's going to cost for the vehicle to be towed, and what the process will be in order to obtain their vehicle again.
Can we shift gears a little bit, since I was thinking about that? You know, they had the predatory lending also. You got anything on that you would have to say? Because now that my brain is in gear, there's a couple of things I'm just be rapid.
No, there's a predatory towing aspect yet, but I mean, yeah, we could definitely take a look at that.
Oh, all right, so let's move on to education. What's your feeling about education in Kansas City, the school district, the role, if any role, the city should be playing or is playing, just the overall as a not just as a council person.
Okay.
Yeah, because our kids you know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we have to do more in regards to educating our kids. I believe with the passage of this new levy, the KCPS passed, I think is going to help do that. I believe I'm a firm believer in education. I learned the hard way that an education was going to be something that I needed in life. I worked at the General Motors plant before it closed. Once it closed, I found myself in a situation where nobody would hire me because I didn't have an education other than a high school diploma. I didn't have a associate's degree, bachelor's degree, or master's degree. And everywhere I went applied for a job, they asked me for one of those degrees. So what I did was I went back to school and got my degree. But I believe that not only is education key and important to our kids, but we also have to work with those kids that may or may not be able to go to a 4-year college. So that means that we have to teach them some type of trade. And so what I would like to do is work with unions, labor organizations, as well as other businesses and entities so that we can create more apprenticeship opportunities for our kids so that if Johnny says, hey, I'm not going to be good at a 4-year college, but I'm good with my hands and I may be able to be a carpenter, or I'm pretty good at math, but I'm not good with other stuff, so I might be able to be an electrician.
Well, isn't that what they are doing over north of the river? I think I forgot how much money, 25 million or how many million? What? Run it down, because when you put the big smile on my face, that was a private joke, far as I was concerned. When you said that you wanted to try to get basically some trade schools and some things going on this side, because that was the same conversation that your third district council person had, that investing some money on this side. So where are you at on that, real quick?
I agree 100%. If we can find $30 million for a career center north of the river, we should be able to find $30 million for a career center south of the river as well. One of the things that I objected to when that ordinance came before us was the fact that none of our kids in south of the river would be able to take advantage of that opportunity. I represent 5 school districts just in the 5th district alone. KCPS, Hickman Mills, Center, Raytown, and Grandview. All of the people that live in the 5th district go to those school districts. This career center is up north of the river, close to the airport. So
Right.
none of our students are going to be able to have transportation to even get up there.
So let's keep it moving, Councilman. So I'm going back to the 3rd district again because Councilwoman Robinson has been pointing out so many different things that would not be considered. So I didn't know this hookup across the highway, $300 million or something downtown. You can spend that type of money on that type of project, but when it comes to our community, what do you have to say about that, if you have anything to say?
I agree 100%. I have been, since I've been on the council, my mantra has been that we can find money for the projects that we want to find money for. But when it comes to the 3rd and the 5th, it always seems like it's pulling teeth. I have some problems with that. We can find money for downtown, this park, or this lid over 670. I agree.
I knew nothing about it. And this is why off camera I was saying the importance of our representatives coming on a Black network that is serving our community, because you can't be every place and know everything, but you can take your time once or twice a week to go to the network and not listen to a news clip of what Councilman Curls is saying or Councilwoman is saying. You can look and see what they're saying, like we're doing right now. And I think to know better is to do better, and our community would get more involved. That would strengthen your voice when you compare what they're doing with these budgets and where this money is being spent.
Yeah, well, one thing to that point, Carlos, is that we have budget hearings every year, and we
and voice their concerns or their opinions in regards to how that money is spent. And the more people that we can get out to those budget hearings saying that, hey, look, we need you guys to invest $20 million in 18th and Vine, or we need you to invest $20 million on 63rd Street, or we need you to invest whatever that is, wherever that is in the 3rd and the 5th district. We need those voices to come to those budget hearings, because what happens is the like they say, the squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Cut you off again. You mentioned 63rd. Talk about the development now. We got some traction getting ready to take place out there on 63rd.
Oh, yes. I'm very excited about that
project that down to the community.
Place. Yeah, that's been a project that's been in the works for at least about 20 years now. And it's, it's starting and it stopped and it's starting and it stopped. Well, fortunately, on May the 1st, we finally broke ground where we actually moved some dirt in regards to that project taking off. So we're hoping to see some buildings start going vertical here within the next couple of months.
Tell our community what's actually supposed to go there, per se.
So right now there's plans for a grocery store. There are plans for a hotel right there on that northeast corner where that gas station is. That gas station hopefully will be going away. We're in the process of trying to take over that property, so that gas station will no longer be there. But there will be a hotel going up in that area. And then to the west of 63rd, or to the west of Prospect on 63rd, as I mentioned, there's going to be a grocery store. There's going to be some other eateries there. I'm not privy to give the names of those eateries just yet because the ink hasn't been finalized on them yet. But there's about 3 or 4 restaurants that are going to go in that location as well.
All right. So because you're at large, I'm going back to third district. They broke some ground on something that they're doing down there. And how do you feel about the housing development and the overall progress of where Divine Street development is going?
Well, and I'll answer that question, but I also neglected to say that also on 63rd Street, there's going to be a housing development there too. So there is a housing component with that as well. But to the 18th and Vine district, I talked to my colleagues on the council that represent the Northland, and they always bring up the fact that we've put money into 18th and Vine, as well as we should. So just saying that, hey, well, we worked with you on 18th and Vine does not cut water with me. But
I like that, Councilman. I like that.
Yeah, so I agree that we ought to continue to invest in 18th and Vine. I know that there's some money that is being invested in that area. I think we also ought to look at how can we expand further from 18th and Vine as well. I mean, I think that when you look at going south on Paseo there, all the way to about 22nd Street, maybe even to 71 Highway, and going over west over there. I think that land is developable. There is a project that has been stalled at City Hall that I would like to see pursued over there. It's kind of a mixed use of housing as well as refurbishing an old building there. But I'm support of 18th and Vine and doing all that we can to enhance 18th and Vine. I know there's a pedestrian aspect that's being considered, and there's some other plans for 18th and Vine that I hope come to fruition within the next couple of years.
All right. Boy, it's just so much I want to hit you with in time. Talk a little bit about Parks and Rec and how you see what's happening in your district as it relates to Parks and Rec.
Well, one of the things that I'm working on doing with Parks and Rec is if you know where the Freedom of Fountain is located in the Bruce R. Watkins Cultural Center, and then you go west to Martin Luther King Park, where Patrick Mahomes has just put in that new
The tennis
park
courts
equipment.
and they got the children's stuff that
Yeah,
Mahomes is.
yeah, yeah. So my goal is number one, refurbish those tennis courts. And we've worked on that. I've got some money secured in order to do that next year. So you'll start seeing those tennis courts being refurbished. But my other plan is to rename that whole part from Paseo all the way down to what they call the Lake of the Enshriners. Over there east, pick up Mary Williams Neal.
Where her center is.
Yeah, I'm going to rename that all Martin Luther King Park. Right now, part of it is called Martin Luther King Park. The other part is called Brush Creek Park.
Right. I'm glad you brought that up because I just had Chris Good on yesterday and the truce renaming truce
the truth.
yeah. And go back to third district when Councilwoman Robinson, when I talked to her about what was the holdup and what have you, and they told me what the procedure was, well, told the community what the procedure was, and it seemed like the mayor tabled it with Councilwoman Boo, I think her name is, and
Yes.
I'm wondering how a black man could do that under the circumstances of who Truce was and what have you. And I wanted to know whether you have any feelings on that.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to
And
try
everybody's
to.
got to get along with the mayor per
Yeah,
se.
it's not that. It's the I'm not going to try to figure out what his reasoning for doing what he did is. I mean, I no telling, but all I can say is I support the effort. And I had a meeting with Chris Good myself. I told him that he needed to continue to persevere in order to make his thought or his dream come to a reality. Because I believe that if you really believe in something, you really got to stick to it. Sometimes it don't happen in the time that you want it to happen in, but if
Oh,
you
the creator will
persistent,
make it happen.
yeah, exactly. And he says it'll happen in my time, not your time, right?
Uh,
You know,
The keys
so
to success, as I tell young interns that would work with me, and this is key in life: patience and consistency will win the day all the time, but it's very hard to master those two things.
I agree 100%, definitely. And I would share that sentiment as well.
So, Councilman, there's a million different things I want to go into, but uh, closing out, what would you have to say to our community?
Well, I would say that my, I believe in this. I believe in trying to do what I can to help our community. And that's why I ran. I'm not here to get any type of accolades. I don't want no plaques. I don't have to be on TV. I'm not trying to do anything in order to run for a higher office. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to try to listen to the constituency in the third and the fifth district, especially, but also the whole city, because they're the ones who voted for me. Everybody in this city voted for me, so I have to look at the whole picture when it comes to doing the right thing for this city. But believe me, I live in the fifth district. That's my backyard. That's where I play at. That's where I want to see more things take place in. So I'm going to be fighting for the third and the fifth district as long as I'm on this council. If I've got to stand up on my desk and throw papers or do whatever it is in order to try to get my point across to try to make sure that they are continuing to invest and reinvest in the third and the fifth district, that's what I'm going to do. So my office is open. I'm willing to talk to any and everybody about any concern that they may have and how I can help.
Give them your contact information, Councilman.
My email address is darrell.curls@kcmo.org. And my phone number is 816. I don't call myself.
The office number,
513.
because hey, audience, you get more action out the office. He was late getting on this. I call his personal numbers, other numbers, but I call the office number, they answer.
Yeah. So the office number is 816-513-6519.
He's got an efficient aide. I'll say that. Give her a plug. Uh,
Thank you.
but as we always close, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Good day.
This is brought to you by Kansas City Business Association, working to improve our community.